Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. I'm Isa, and today I wanted to talk a bit more about being Frontstuck. I think I've done that in the past before, but I've never experienced being Frontstuck for such a long time, so I thought I'd share a bit about what's going on, how it feels, how it affects me, as well as what it makes me feel as a person, as a personality, as well as how it influences our content and the way we think of ourselves. Just if you are a system that has to deal with being Frontstuck for a longer time, and even for short times, it can be very frustrating and scary. So yeah, let's get started. So in general, Frontstuck or fronting, the alter that is fronting or part that is fronting, personality, etc. That is fronting is the one who is in control of the body, who is taking in what's going on around them, and it's just like if you compare the body to a car, it's the one who's driving and steering. And if you're Frontstuck, it's kind of like you just, like your seatbelt is like you can't take it off, you just have to drive and you can't change. So there's no one else who can go to the driver's seat and change with you so you can have a rest, or maybe like in a system all parts have different roles, and some parts are better for socializing, some do better in day-to-day chores, in day-to-day life regarding certain types of things you do throughout the day. And that's very important because not every part is capable of taking in all the information and all the things that are going on. Me, for example, I struggle a lot with I struggle a lot with anxiety and social phobia. So when there are like tasks to do outside of our home, usually that's when Drew, for example, would front and do those things. But since I've been Frontstuck, I had to do all of that too, which is like a huge stress factor, a huge anxiety thing, and I could not really get a break of doing that. I just had to. It was like I'm forced to do that now, even though like I'm kind of, weirdly to say, like my role as alter is not meant to do these things, because usually I'm the one to take on different parts of the day, and that's something that Drew, for example, does, or Jake, I think. Vivi does things like that, but like I don't, because it's just a horrible thing for me. It takes a ton of energy. For me, it's a huge stressor, and can trigger a lot of fatigue, etc. Which I'm not really sure what I even started talking about, but all in all, when you're Frontstuck, it's an extremely stressful experience, because like the alter that is fronting is like you have to take on things that you are like, it sounds so stupid when I say, like, you're not meant to do, but a trauma holder, for example, is there to hold trauma, specific trauma that other alters are not supposed to remember or know of. So it's like, ah, my brain is getting wiped. Let's just stick with that. Let's just keep it there. I really hope I kind of can explain anything somehow. So if you have more questions about it, don't be afraid to ask in the comment section. I will try to answer. I cannot promise anything because since everything's going on, since I struggle a lot with stress and anxiety around that, I need to take more like social breaks, and this even includes like checking our phone. So there are days where I just put my phone away because just looking at it, just, like, even if I don't go on any like social media or anything, like, we usually only text with our girlfriend over our phone, and she's a very safe person, and even that can be like too much sometimes. So I just don't look at my phone at all. And like writing a response and answering things can be quite hard because it takes a lot of brain power and energy, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have that. But I'll try my best. And if you have anything to say about that from your experience, you can also write it in the comments. So to share your experience. Jeez. And yeah, what else? So I talked about being Frontstuck before, but never for that long. Which this year, I think we talked about that, but January was an extremely stressful month after November and December are very, very trauma related. January still dragged in all of that, and our anxiety kind of spiked. And at the end of January, we had an appointment to get some anxiety supportive medication, which I've taken since then, which is very helpful. But all of this stress has caused our CFS to flare up, which is still kind of regulating. It has gotten better, way better, but during this flare up, I was the one fronting, and I've been fronting almost for the whole time since the start of February. I have fronted almost the whole January, but I also fronted since February. There were a few times where I think we were able to switch only because our girlfriend told us afterwards that she has talked to another alter. But mostly it's been like, we used to switch a lot. We used to, or tend to, go through quite a few rapid switching cycles in a day or in a week, as well as multiple switches throughout the day. So we're a very switchy system, and not switching at all is an extremely strange experience. As well as when our brain kind of, sometimes it like tries to switch, but it's just not like clicking, it's not working. Like you're on a, like, if you're on PC and like you open a tab and it's just loading and loading, and then you get like the message, failed to connect, try again, and then you press again and it keeps loading, and then it fails, and you press it again and it keeps loading and then fails, like all of that. And you're kind of stuck in this weird position of being fronting, but kind of not fronting. Then you're back fronting and you're kind of not fronting, and that kind of cycle usually then goes on for like around 5 to 10 minutes. And usually when we switch, we yawn. So through all these 5-10 minutes, our body is trembling because it's like so tensed, and our jaws hurting from all the yawning. Like we've been crying, like actual tears. Like when you yawn, don't know why it happens, but like your eyes can get teary because of like your tear glands. And so that was happening. Something also very nice is there was a time where it kept on going, like the yawn itself kept on going that long that like we've been dribbling a bit, which was also very beautiful. And afterwards, we're kind of not like able to do anything. So it's just like no information is able to be comprehended anymore. Now, regarding our content, since having to deal with everything on my own as an alter, it's very hard to also then trying to keep uploading things or recording things. Usually I don't have any energy at all. I have been struggling a lot with feeling useless and being in a cycle of, oh no, now that I am like Frontstuck, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so stressed, and I cannot keep up with uploading things. Now that's like the only thing we do usually, so that's something. Now we can't even do that, and then you're in the cycle of bad thoughts, and then you're like, I am 21, I'm turning 22, and my whole life I've done nothing, I've been useless, I could have done so much more. I had to leave school in 10th grade because of depression and anxiety and more bad things. Then I switched to a different school where we tried to do something that we loved. We loved going to school there, but panic disorder, amnesia, and everything was destroying that too. And it was just like, it just feels like we are failing at everything we are trying to do, which is amazing when you're already overwhelmed and stressed. And on top of that is we deal with a lot of self-doubt, and I think I can speak for a lot of beings with like invisible illnesses, and there are just days, especially when I'm Frontstuck, especially for that long, where I'm like, do I even have the ID? Maybe it was just like a mistake. Maybe they didn't assess me right. Maybe all these years of being misdiagnosed and diagnosed and misdiagnosed and diagnosed, and all the switches that we've been through, and all the things that definitely point towards the ID, and all the other stuff, and confirmation of family, friends, etc. Maybe I'm just faking it. Like, maybe I am what some people tell me, because if that's not true, how can I have DID when I'm like Frontstuck? Like, there's no other alter that's like fronting. I am not really experiencing switching amnesia anymore. I do have experience amnesia and brain fog, etc. But I haven't really switched as much as I used to, or like barely at all. Almost like almost no switch at all. You really get stuck in this like cycle of intrusive thoughts, bad thoughts, things where you just like question your whole identity. And since we've been, like, it's also not getting better due to my anxiety. But I think those with DID, OSDD, etc., like, I believe you guys understand when I, like, this feeling of being like even when I'm not Frontstuck, I'm sometimes like questioning everything. It's just like a mood I have every now and then. And it's probably not just something that we go through, but I just try to keep reminding myself that I mostly talk to my fiance, and like she's really reassuring. Even when I ask questions and stuff for the thousandth time. I'm also sorry for all the bad lightning. It started raining and it's very gray, and I did not prepare the light, and when I turn on the room light it will be very yellow. But that's my update for all of you. I hope you guys know now a bit more about what's going on. I will definitely keep updating you every now and then when we feel more like comfortable and everything. But yeah, it's been a lot. So keep holding on, everybody, and I hope to see you. Yeah, I hope to see you again, and hopefully everything is gonna settle down finally. I cannot wait to like get a break from this. It's been exhausting, like very exhausting. But yeah, love you all.